ridiculous for summer. But we're not going to talk about this. We're going to talk about what happened in the 90s. So, in the 90s, in 96, I think I like Goosebumps. Goosebumps series came out at the same time the Are You Afraid of the Dark series came out. I didn't even know that because I couldn't. It was like, you know, the one thing you'll never understand about the kids in the 90s is this. There was always the debate of which show was better. Was it Are You Afraid of the Dark or was it Goosebumps? And they were both filmed in Canada. Both of them were filmed in Canada. My mom bought me some bed sheets of Are You Afraid of the Dark at 16. And she bought me this slappy pencil holder. I have to honestly say the slappy in 96 was more scarier than the one from recently because it just looks so creepy. I wonder how much those bed sheets would have been cost. No, it was a really nice blanket and it said Goosebumps on it. And my mom bought it, and she bought it for me because she knew I was a huge fan of Goosebumps. Her mom's the best. And though they didn't have Are You Afraid of the Dark bed sheets, but I was like, you know, I gotta have I just don't know why she bought me a bed sheet like that. But it kept me warm in the winter. And I had a whole lot of Goosebumps books. I'm suggesting for people who are learning how to read, if you graduate from kids' books, go and read R.L. Stine's books because they're easier to read. And they're easy to read. Trust me. And that R.L. Stine has this mindset. And it's like, what do you mean this mindset? Well, he has these ideas where he can write more books. And he can write more books. And he's that kind of writer who can like come up with so many stories. I don't know if he does now, but he did in the 90s. It's like, he's just like, he can come up with one story and then he's done with the other story. And then it's like, wow. I used to have that mindset too. I mean, in the 90s and the 80s, I used to keep recording stories and come up with so many stories that I had to go and buy more cassettes. That's another interesting podcast for another time. So, yeah. So, I'm still a fan of Goosebumps. But the Slappy from the 90s was just, like, creepy looking. I even got the soundtrack to Goosebumps. And I did that's for another story, but yeah, I had the soundtrack to Goosebumps. And then I had the audio books from Goosebumps. I was Goosebumps out, I swear. I think R.L. Stine is a really great writer. And then I asked him this question. I asked the phone this question. I wasn't able to ask the question back then, but he kind of reminded me of Stephen King. And everybody calls him the Stephen King for children. So they did meet each other. I looked that up. And so, yeah, there's going to be another episode about what I'm talking about here. So let's see how we're done. Yeah, those are short episodes, aren't they? Yay!